Oh my goodness.
Hey.
That's it. Go, everybody.
It's a whole new world.
I'm Al, and we are live. I'm here with Brandon.
Oi.
And Ryan.
Howdy.
And I don't know if I'm pointing in the right directions because we're live and it's all disorienting. But anyway.
Al, is this your first live stream on the channel?
Foray into live with you guys. Yes, it is.
Nice.
And I've already disappointed people before we even got in here. Sorry, John McIntyre. No, it's
Snyder Cut chat coming tomorrow, guys. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Oh boy. No, this is the way we're going to do this from this point forward for the foreseeable future anyway. So we got tired of you telling us what to do, so we decided to do what we wanted to do. And
right.
So welcome to CiNEMACHiNE.
Just noticed that I assume Ryan changed my name to Barndon.
Yeah, I did. I did do that. For everybody watching, it's because he lives on a farm.
On a farm.
On a farm.
There's a song about that. So yeah. So well, I tell you what, this week we're going to talk about many movie items. We're going to talk about what we've been watching. We're going to talk about some movie news. We're just going to chit chat about everything in between. So if you guys, gals, want to put something over in the comments, please do so. Ryan, you want to tell them everywhere else they can find us?
That's right. So this video will be up on our YouTube channel, where you can drop your comments in there. Also on Instagram, we are 4 followers away from 500. And we love talking movies there. We're pretty active on there. So give us a follow at CiNEMACHiNE Pod, and stay up to date on all of our goings on
in the movie industry.
That's right.
Yeah.
Subscribe too. That's important.
So yeah, please subscribe.
Yeah.
We are still a growing channel, but we're growing exponentially due to all of you. So we do thank you very, very much. What up, y'all? Chubby Teddy says.
Chubby Teddy Monster Productions has the best name ever.
That's
Yep. You win tonight.
I remember when he would just used to be CTMP. I just remember those days. But
yeah, back in the day.
The classic Chubby Teddy Monster Productions days. Well, thanks for tuning in. Sup, that's right. So well, tonight the movie industry is getting shaken up quite a bit. We're kind of finding,
it's a good time to start a movie channel or a movie review channel.
Right? How so? Well, I mean,
yeah,
I read this week. We all read this week actually that the old Alamo Drafthouse is in some troubles, and
that's it's rough.
Yeah,
and
breaks my heart.
I read that too. What did you read about it? Just you let me know what you read about it, and then I'll
well, first off,
I'll let you know if I read the same thing.
So first off, Alamo Drafthouse, if you're not familiar, Alamo Drafthouse is a great theater chain out of Austin, Texas. And I've had the privilege of visiting one in Denver or Aurora, roughly. And it's a great experience. I know both of you want to go someday, but they really do kind of latch down on all the rules, like no talking.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be a knucklehead, basically. So it's
Brandon's kind of place.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And have you guys ever been to one of those theaters where you get the food, like the full entree and everything while you dine in theater?
Don't like those.
So back the thing about Alamo Drafthouse that they did that was great was the servers would basically crawl on the floor almost. I mean, I'm kind of exaggerating that, but not really. They would just pop up out of like it kind of jolt you like, oh, you're right there.
They wear all black.
Yeah, and
clothing, black masks,
there's no lights. There's no little lights on the tables or anything. Not the one I went to anyway. If somebody else has had a different experience, please leave that over in the comments. But you have a little notebook pad, a little piece of paper, and you write it down with like a little golf pencil, and you put it on this little clip, and all of a sudden this little hand just comes up and grabs it, and then just goes back into the darkness.
It's like Thing from Addams Family.
It was just the craziest thing. Like, I don't know if it was just this particular server. I've only been once, so maybe my experience was different.
Aren't they partnered with Mondo?
Yeah. So they're very much
Yeah.
in bed with one another. But it's such a great experience. Not only that, but every single theater looks a little bit different, has a different theme for the most part. And it's just they go all out. I mean, to where right when you walk in, it's like t-shirts and hats and I mean, just all sorts of souvenirs. And it's not just a couple, it's like a full store. They have a full bar and everything. So there we go. Alita Battle Angel. Yeah.
I dig that movie.
So I wonder, maybe Chubby Teddy Monster can answer this for us. Is that location closing? Because all the locations aren't closing. They haven't announced which ones are closing, right?
I haven't seen which ones are closing. I'm having a hard time finding that information.
It's rough because here in Atlanta they were building one, so we were that close.
Yeah, and
they still might. I've been looking to see what. I haven't been able to find anything yet.
I would be shocked though if a company files for bankruptcy. Like the least responsible thing you could do is like continue new construction.
Well, they're pretty much being bought out at this point. So I mean, that'll help them because they just debuted in Los Angeles right before all the nonsense went on. And I mean, it was very successful. Their theater chains are very successful as far as outside the realm of, everything that's going on. Yeah. So it's quite impressive, the model that they have, because they do put that tender love and care that we all talk about into movies, so Brandon and I actually had some semi plans, and Rusty that was on the channel at one point.
We had so many plans last year.
David, we were going to go see Rage Against the Machine, and on that same trip, we were going to go to Alamo Drafthouse in Raleigh. So, that was kind of like the biggest bump. I didn't even really get that bummed out about the Rage Against the Machine because saw them way back when, so I was fine with that. But I really wanted to go to Alamo Drafthouse again, and that was the biggest bummer. So, we might have to do a CiNEMACHiNE on the road someday and go check out Alamo.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean they're shutting a few of them down. They haven't announced which one. So
did you see that? I think I saw something about LA or next week opening up theaters to 25% capacity.
LA,
which is cool. Yeah,
interesting.
Like I just saw that. Like
I know that New York just lifted their restrictions as well.
That's good.
They did, yeah.
I think
That's
so.
good. That's good.
Yeah.
Well,
Variety LA movie theaters can reopen next week at 25% capacity.
Yeah, we could definitely use some normalcy, and I'm not going to get on a political bent about that. I'm just saying that I think people could use a good trip to the movies, and maybe the fact that they've been closed for so long and we're all wanting them to come back so badly, maybe people will be like, oh, we took this for granted. It's such a good experience. Maybe we shouldn't be knuckleheads in the movie theater and rattle our candy box and wrappers and
don't ruin the Matrix for somebody like Al.
Exactly. Don't be those types of people, right?
No, I won't have to yell at you during Blade Runner 2049. So, yeah. So anyway, but no, I don't know. I mean, I know you guys both have a real desire to go see a movie at an Alamo Drafthouse, but let me ask you this, and I kind of know Brandon's answer on this, but I'll let him answer either way. Would you go if you had an opportunity to go to an Alamo Drafthouse, right? Let's just say that you happen to be in the neighborhood and there's really nothing playing that you want to see. Would you still go and watch a movie that you really aren't? Okay.
For sure.
Brandon?
Yeah, I mean, because I haven't ever been to one, I do want to experience, regardless of what I'm watching, I guess. I mean, but Yeah, the thing about I don't know to what extent Alamo. I know that they have all. I love the idea of them having like the no talk policy and that kind of thing. That's awesome. I just hope that in addition to that, and it seems like it is, that they're kind of I guess them putting first like the tech element as far as the best sound that you can get, the best screens, that kind of thing. That's another thing that is important to me, because I hate going to a theater that has rips in the screen or the sound
technology than Brandon's home theater.
Well, I mean, it's kind of true.
Brandon's taking on consultancies. I'm just saying he's willing to come out there and help you guys.
I just, I mean, okay, both of you have been in the movies with me, and both of you have had instances where I've got up and went and complained in the middle of the movie to the people that fix something, whether it's the sound.
True. I did that during the Matrix.
Aspect ratio. I remember when we went and saw X-Men Apocalypse, and I had to go and get them to change the aspect ratio.
Yep, I do.
You got to get your stuff together, man. That's all I'm saying.
Hey,
I pay good money.
Brandon was running a movie theater, it would be a tight ship. I'll tell you that much.
It would. Hey, I run one at home, and listen,
so
it is a tight ship.
Outside of the movie, I'm gonna go against that for a minute. I know very well Luna might be told not to talk, but she's allowed to talk more than anybody else. She gets certain privileges.
That is true.
Yes.
I make exceptions for her to talk her through movies that are a little above her head. So that is true. But
and then you let her talk when she has to explain what the British people are saying to you, right?
Exactly.
Yes, exactly. So
Can you translate?
So let me ask you this, just out of the blue here, like outside of the movie itself, the actual movie, just throw that away. What's the best movie going experience? Like movie theater, not at your house, but movie theater going experience you've had, and like I said, movie aside. It could be the people you were with. It could be whatever.
The most memorable one I have is just like, it's probably not the best story, but the most memorable one I have was seeing The Dark Knight in IMAX for the first time. It's the first time I've been to an IMAX movie.
Okay.
And I just remember what. Go ahead, Brandon.
Well, we just have the same one, but go ahead.
Oh, okay.
We work together, but we have the same
you
one.
And me? No way.
They finish each other's sentences too, guys.
Yeah. No, it was just it was, being a tech snob, maybe not the level of Brandon, but
did you see it opening night?
The day after. You got me beat.
I saw it Thursday night at 1 a.m. at IMAX. And here's the thing. Well, actually, Ryan, you finish yours. I don't know if you have anything.
No, I'm good. Go ahead.
So we got there, and they came. They were like, we were in line waiting to get in, and this was before they had reserved seating. So you just had to get there like 2 hours early to just wait till you could get in, because you don't want to be up front in IMAX. It's too big for me. Like about third row from the top is where I like to be, in the middle. Anyway, we get there early, and the receptionist or whatever. What do you call them? You call them receptionists? Stub breakers?
Stub breakers?
No, you do not call them a receptionist. I'll tell you that
much. Stub rippers?
Paging Dr.
Stubbers. Anyway, he's like, guys, I'm sorry. The projector broke. It overheated. We're trying to figure out what's going on. And I was like, oh no. He's like, we're gonna put you in a normal theater, and we'll give you passes to come back and watch it in IMAX. I was like, oh man, this is like it's like 1 o'clock. It's like I've been waiting to see this in IMAX, because it's like one of the first movies that has extensive.
Chubby Teddy Monster gets it.
Yeah. If anybody knows what they're called, I'm not trying to be like.
It's a receptionist.
No,
it's the receptionist.
Brandon's using hate speech towards ticket takers.
I don't know what they're called. Anyway,
it's not the wrong side of the city. I'm sorry. I'm north side. Thank you very much, but thanks for watching.
crap. I forgot what I was saying.
IMAX.
Anyway, they say
projector
that
you saw the
projector's
reception
broken.
is.
Yeah. Yeah. She's like, would you like to leave a message? I can get him. Yeah. And so anyway, 10 minutes before we're supposed to go in, they're like, we got it working. Everything's good. So we got to go see it in IMAX. That first scene hits, the cityscape, which I think is Chicago in real life, but to me, Gotham City. IMAX sequence, top to bottom.
Speaking of Chicago, there you go.
Yep. Top to bottom, full IMAX ratio. And
Thanks,
I was just blown away. And that whole night, I was just on the edge of my seat. And I went back, saw it the next day, and 2 days after that, it was just, it was
there was an Amber Alert out for Brandon. Everybody's like, the movies. So,
yeah. That's it. Al, what's your favorite movie going experience? 89 Batman when you were a kid?
The Shining. He saw The Shining in an old movie theater, and
that was pretty awesome. I have to admit, that was pretty awesome. But I feel like my favorite might have been The Shining. The seats were all rickety and whatnot. It was in the Marietta Square. But I want to tell you a quick story about my Dark Knight experience. So I was in college and we were driving over to Savannah. I was
Savannah,
and
that's a mighty far away from Scranton.
I was the GM of the radio station for the college, and we had to go down to the Savannah campus. And I had two people with me, my buddy Josue, and somebody else was in the car with us. And my buddy Josue, he just, I don't know where he is. We were calling people on the way there. So, hey, go grab tickets for the opening night of Dark Knight, and we'll meet you guys there. So friends in Savannah are like, all right, we'll go grab them. So we were going to get there at like 11 o'clock at night. We got there and he goes, we're talking to the people in the theater. Yeah, that was nice. You got that right. It's a great experience. If anybody ever gets a chance to go see The Shining in the theater, especially if it's an older theater, please do so and let me know what you think. But anyway, we get down there and Josue, I mean, one of the nicest people in the world, he goes, why are we at the movie theater? I'm like, we're going to see Batman. He goes, why are we going to see Batman? And he goes, he said, okay. So we go and we're standing in line with our friends and stuff. And then, some people are dressed up like the Joker, like Heath Ledger's Joker and stuff. And he goes, why are people dressed up like the Joker? Like the Batman movie, the Joker. And he goes, oh, so then I'm like, dude, where have you been? So we finished the movie and everything. And he goes, man, that guy that played Joker was really good. And I said, yeah, it was really good. You're right. That's Heath Ledger. He goes, I'd like to see him in some more stuff. I was like, you're going to have to go back a little bit. He goes, why? I said, he died, man. Like, I was like, where have you been? So Josue had egg on his face all night. But anyway, yeah, we had a great time. And I immediately went and saw it again.
That's so Josue.
Oh, Josue.
Josue.
He's back in Bolivia. I know you're watching, Josue. So anyway, yeah, Anna Marie said her favorite movie experience is movie club. Yes, we get together once a month with some close friends, play movie trivia, and watch some movies we've usually never heard of. Yeah, Anna Marie, that is a great time.
Up to Al, Anna Marie.
We joke that in this circle we call that movie cult because Al is the movie god.
Listen, Anna Marie, comment if you need help.
Winky face if you need help.
So I want to congratulate Anna Marie and Bobby right quick. They just had a beautiful baby boy, and nice. Congratulations on their second little boy in this world. So big congratulations. We got a new member of the movie club, a movie cult. So congratulations. Can't wait to meet Mr.
The numbers are expanding.
Help.
Oh, see?
Yeah. So
I always knew you were a David Koresh type.
Hey, look, I'm allergic to Kool-Aid, but I still hand it out. So
That's the way all the leaders are.
Yeah.
They don't drink it. They have some excuse.
Oh,
That's solid right there.
oh wow! At the drive-in, the original Blade
Another-
Runner or Blade Runner 2049.
I
Oh,
imagine
it
it's
was
the
6.
original.
It was probably Blade Runner. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's awesome. It's a really good.
Unless he's like 8 years old. What are you doing in our chat?
When are we gonna have a Scott Pilgrim music duel on this show? That's a good question.
Get some bass guitars.
Nobody wants that.
I do. Chris does.
Another little experience that I have to say is I was at the beach in Daytona one year. This was, I guess, 2001, I think. And a buddy of mine, we were like trying to kill time, and we're like, let's go watch a movie at the Dollar Theater. And so we went, and Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring was playing. And this movie, when it came out, when the Fellowship started, they started running trailers, I knew nothing about Lord of the Rings. And I was like, what is this crap? Who would watch this? This is so stupid.
Oh,
Me for the rest of my life, Brandon says.
And so we went to see it on a whim, walked in late, like 30 minutes late. And this is a movie that changed my life, like seriously changed my life, like forever. You can see behind me, I got 2 swords behind me that are from the movie.
And an empty movie poster frame.
Empty movie poster. It's coming. There's a Lord of the Rings poster coming.
I thought that was a He-Man sword.
It's my Laurel poster.
See, for that one, for me, I like just finished reading those books when they started talking about production for those movies. So I was stoked when it just happened to line up like that.
Hang on, you've read something outside of Star Wars?
It's hard to believe. I know.
Oh my gosh.
And it would be Lord of the Rings.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I knew nothing. I didn't even know that they existed, period, as books or anything.
Yeah.
So that was that. Other than the Dark Knight, this was a really crappy theater. So, it's just one of those things that even despite that, it was amazing. So changed my life.
It was some really good timing on Lord of the Rings there.
Dang straight. Dang straight. Did you guys end up watching? I was just looking at the notes here. I was going to ask you, did you end up watching Coming to America this week?
I watched it.
So Al has watched it. I finished, not that I hadn't seen it. Melissa hadn't seen the original, so we finished it last night.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So I cannot comment on the new one.
So I guess we're talking about that next week then.
I'll wait to talk about it then, because I don't want to give an opinion one way or the other.
No, that's okay. I mean, I've heard opinions of it. I honestly am not expecting much, and this is even before people started talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
I had very low expectations just because it's just the way this goes. Like, none of these movies ever tend to work, and unless of a few exceptions, like Blade Runner 2049. We've already talked about that tonight, but that movie to me I like it better than the original. Sorry.
Me too. Mad Max Fury Road. Not that it was a regrouping, but it was the same director. So
yeah. So no, I mean, I can talk about the original. Rewatching that was a lot of fun. I hadn't seen it since I was, I don't know, teenager maybe.
I'm just not an Eddie Murphy fan. I don't know why. I just never have been.
Everybody has their thing. I mean, I guess I can understand it. I mean, he's kind of he's not, I won't call him one trick pony, but he's definitely got his own styling. That's, you can definitely tell it's Eddie Murphy as the voice of Donkey. I'm just going to say it.
Yeah, it's true.
Brandon, we got a question for you in the chat here.
Uphill both ways, barefoot in the snow.
That's accurate. Very accurate.
That's for country boys that don't have a theater in their basement.
Country boys can survive. I will say this. I think that just means Brandon was more dedicated to seeing the movies, because he lived away from the theater, but I would say the closest theater to use, 30, 45 minutes. It's not that bad.
40, a good one. I mean, 45. Yeah. We had ended up getting one about 30 minutes, which you've been to, Al.
Yeah.
in Commerce.
Yeah.
No. We did have a
It's
drive-through
amazing that we're
theater for a
streaming
little
live
while.
here tonight. How far away you are.
We're roaming. If this was a cell phone
Yeah.
call, we'd be roaming.
Melissa's gonna get the bill this month. What happened?
What happened? I
We
said
did
you
have
could
a
go
drive-through
live.
theater for a little while.
Oh, really?
About 15 minutes down the road.
I thought you were about to say for 15 minutes. We had a drive.
Yeah, I mean, it felt like
Nobody
15 minutes.
It was a
I don't think it was
experience.
open, but maybe a year. But
Well, yeah. I mean, the thing is that I think going to the movie theater maybe I'm hoping anyway. Like I said, it maybe will be a more kind of sought after experience after all is said and done with what everybody's going through right now. So
Yeah,
and we're not
we've
trying to
talked
make
about
light
this.
of anything.
We talked about this before, but it was already trending towards more of a digital distribution model and more event-based theater experiences.
Yeah.
And you saw that trending with the, like you're saying, with the dine-in experience and that kind of thing. But I just feel like they're going to have to really offer something that you can't get at home, which is big sound, big
Alamo.
screen,
Yeah.
big, like great service, no interrupt, like at least, and it's going to turn into like a niche, more of a, I think I've said this before, so I'm sorry for repeating myself, but
It's your show, man.
it's going to be more like a Broadway show type experience. I feel not quite as exquisite.
I hope it doesn't echo the prices of.
I don't think it'll get that. Yeah.
But it will be considered like this is a special thing that we do versus this is something that we do every week, like I used to do when I was in high school and college. But
yeah, when I had Casper Seal Jones on Criterion Corner, we touched on this, and he's a film director, and he was coming at it from, this is basically my living, and this is how I'm gonna show films and whatnot, and he was basically saying the same thing. It has to be an experience, and the both of us were on the same kind of wavelength of that. I think if stories and that real emotional side of movies comes back, because it's really just, to me anyway, it just feels like it's churn and burn, just get the dollars, kind of turn over the crowds more and more. But I think people really do enjoy having those emotional experiences together, similar to a Broadway show and whatnot. And I really do, for the sake of the movies that I like and whatnot, I really do hope that that we get more of a theatrical experience for some of these movies, because there's plenty of movies out during this whole lockdown that I would have appreciated seeing in theaters, and there's some still about to come out. So I mean,
didn't Disney say something this week about theatrical windows or short of theatrical windows
this week or last week? But yeah, I think it was Bob Chapek, which is their CEO. They keep doing the Bob. They have the same names for all their like leads there at Disney.
They don't like to get new name placards. Yeah, they don't like to change parking spot names and stuff like that. So they just put Bob up there.
I think he was basically kind of coming at it from them tinkering with this Disney model as far as like Disney Plus, and then having their Disney Plus like premium offerings, theatrical day and date type thing. They haven't quite, well, I guess they did kind of do the free option with Soul on Christmas, but he's basically, it's in a nutshell, it's kind of like, in not so many words, he's basically like, we let the genie out of the box. And so not going to be able to put that thing back in there. Genie out of the bottle, not the box. Comes in a box, probably from Royston.
Receptionist.
The genie comes in the box.
Yeah.
Receptionist, please put the genie back in the box. That's all we're saying. So,
the t-shirt opportunities.
Hey, are you still glad we went live? So I'm just saying.
So basically, I think he also
comment up, but
he also
do it. There you go, Al.
Hey,
yeah, Wes Anderson movies are. Let me tell you something. I took a girl to see Life Aquatic in the theater, and she was mad
A
at
girl
me.
went to a movie with you?
Well, I mean, court order, but but yeah, so she was mad at me for the rest of the night, so it didn't go well. So
Oh, okay, makes sense then.
I was like, that was a great movie. What are you talking about? So, it is a great movie, and they're all available on Criterion. Just saying.
Oh, shout out Criterion Channel.
What up, Criterion?
Criterion Channel. Yeah, I mean, and he also was just talking about like the shorter window between theatrical and home video. I know that what Universal had kind of said that they were gonna have the option to do it like 17 days after theatrical, move it to VOD or whatever streaming option that they would choose. And then I think Paramount, they also just recently announced that I know that like I don't know if this is like their entire slate, but I know they said that like Quiet Place Part 2 and Mission Impossible 7, Top Gun, Maverick, those were going to be going to Paramount Plus like 45 days after they release in theaters. And then obviously HBO Max is doing it day and date for their entire 2021 slate. So
318, baby. 318.
You betcha.
Thank you. I mean, 316. That's the day Promising a Woman comes out on Blu-ray.
Yeah, you want to talk about that?
Yeah.
Talk about Promising a Woman on Blu-ray. Terrible artwork.
It is awful.
Super bummer.
It's such a good movie, and yet they
had such great like their primary posters were so great. That's what
posters were
about it.
Fantastic. I mean,
Brandy,
I even talked about that during our review of it. I talked about how much the poster art and everything just really geeked me out for this movie. I was like really excited, and then they're putting up the Blu-ray, and it looks like this.
Oh gosh.
I mean,
when you've got, and I'll pull up a different one.
Have you seen the DVD cover they're putting out?
I mean, that's
fantastic right there.
This was part of the posters, and there was another one that was even better, like this one.
The lips, where she was laying on the lips.
Yeah,
that's the DVD cover. That's the DVD cover right there. Why in the world are you doing better artwork for a
First
DVD?
of all, why are you putting out DVDs?
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, that's like hard toilet paper. Is the way I look at it.
I don't understand.
Life Aquatic is one of the best comedies ever. You're right. But
yeah, that Blu-ray artwork is bad.
And it just bums me out because we're all big.
It's like the type treatment's bad. It's just the shot they chose bad. I mean,
it ain't good.
It just looked like somebody's like, yeah, that one. That'd be fine. I don't really care. That one's good. Why do we even try anymore?
Somebody that I know that you sent us something about the director breaking down things today. Somebody needs to ask her the thought process.
Well, so that was on Screenplayed, the YouTube channel Screenplayed, which I highly recommend anybody that really enjoys looking at screenplays. They take a scene, put it above, screenplays underneath the scene, and you can read the screenplay as you watch the scene. But they interviewed the director and lead actress Carey Mulligan from the movie Emerald, the director, and Carey Mulligan. And I watched the whole thing, and it was super interesting. And it was great and everything. And they weren't taking questions, but I was trying to ask a question about this, but they didn't take my question. So
I think I saw
anyway,
there.
They didn't understand.
Keep
I'm gonna keep on keeping on.
Wasn't it like the thought process about something? I don't know. I couldn't understand it.
So, yeah. But the interview is really good, and I highly suggest. So here's a little tidbit. The director was like, as she said, super pregnant. I think she used those words. Like she had her baby 2 months after the movie was wrapped. So
interesting.
Yeah, and they showed clips of her on the set, and I mean, she's
It always
Pretty darn
cracks me up.
pregnant.
They did some reshoots for Wonder Woman when Gal Gadot was pregnant, and they have a couple of like behind the scenes things, and they like had to like custom do like her little get up just to
There's some interesting pictures with they got Gal with pregnant belly, they got Henry with a mustache and the suits. a lot of crazy.
Sorry, Al. We'll stay on track here.
Well, speaking of Al, we have another Blu-ray coming out in May.
We do.
Jack Slater's coming to 4K, baby.
Yeah.
If anybody in the comments is a fan of Last Action Hero, then you're in good company, because I don't know about Ryan, but Al and myself adore this movie. I love this movie so much.
This movie is.
I need to rewatch it.
This movie's campy. This movie's fun. This movie is. When you're a little kid, this is your dream to hang out with your favorite action star in the movie that you love. I think Brandon's dream right now. He would ride on Ben Affleck's shoulders right now if he let him.
Yep, that is accurate.
I think for most kids of my generation, Schwarzenegger was like
the jam,
a superhero. Like he was just, the epitome of like the coolest guy in the world. And so loving like Terminator and movies like that, Last Action Hero, and how it plays into that, with, the Sylvester Stallone Terminator 2 poster and all the, little wink and nods for like, those like 80s, 90s action movies.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like, I don't know. I mean, it just works. It also has that element of like young kid.
Al's hands.
You identify with this kid. Like it's like a Willy Wonka type situation where he gets the magic ticket. He gets to go into the movie. And that was like the coolest thing when I was a kid. And then it's so like dire and gross when he gets back in New York at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Like everything's so like poppy and like cool, pristine, and so super LA on steroids.
Mm-hmm. And then the bad guy has the different glass eyes with the smiley face and all that.
Charles Dance with the glass eye. It's just so good. And then you've got
the soundtrack was great.
Soundtrack, a great soundtrack, great score.
Big Gun, number one.
It's John McTiernan, right? Isn't it John McTiernan director of Die Hard?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I love that movie. Anyway, it's coming out on 4K UHD on May 18th. And is something else coming out on Blu-ray in May? Ryan, did you just send me something?
Apparently, Zack Snyder's Justice League is coming out in Blu-ray.
Oh, nice.
So we'll have to.
I don't even know why I try anymore. Seriously, I mean, good Lord,
can't avoid it, man. It's everywhere. Can't stop this train out.
No, you don't understand, man. I am living and dying with this movie right now.
Here's the thing.
My entire day is consumed.
You guys all talk about Al's on the dark web and blah blah blah. I don't know how you get these stories, Al, and this that another. Nobody else that I know knows anything about the Zack Snyder anything.
Of course
they don't care.
Educate them.
No,
you and your Criterion crew.
No, I mean, like, I don't know anybody else that knows anything. So it's a you guys have a little cult going. So let's back off.
Maybe we do.
You know what? I just don't.
You have your cult. You have your cult, Al. We have ours.
Okay, that's why this show gets spicy. We're all cult leaders fighting for leadership. So,
look, our viewership just went up. Keep talking about Zack Snyder.
That's not why. Added. That's not why. Yeah, I don't know. The movies. Yeah, the Last Action Hero thing. I will definitely buy this. How many times have you seen this, Brandon? Roughly.
Oh, man.
I mean, just ballpark.
It's one of those. It's up there with like the T2. Like I just watched it on repeat when I was a kid.
This is one of those movies with the original Ninja Turtles, '89 Batman, Christmas Vacation, and the Bill and Ted movies and the Pee Wee movies and such that I would put on if I was sick or something. You know, if like I had a day where it was raining outside or whatever, and I wanted to watch something that was great, I would watch these.
Is this a classic Al can fall asleep to it movie? It's so good Al can fall asleep to it.
Speaking of, last time I watched this was with Al, and he fell asleep pretty quickly.
Yes,
So no surprise there.
Yeah, you know, after let's put it this way: after you have to take a plane, a bus, and a car, you're pretty tired. So you're tired.
Yeah, I mean that's cool and all, but you know, this is a repeating storyline with you on a lot
Brandon
of
roofies me when I go to his house. I don't know what happens. So.
What he does, he just roofies you and puts on BVS when you fall asleep.
I'm just gonna put it this way: when I'm like by myself, like hanging out watching a movie or with anybody else, I can watch like a marathon of movies. It's not a problem.
Look,
get over to
say that
Brandon's theater is like it's pretty darn comfy, and it's not a bad thing that it's comfy. It's just that I'm tired. And I can't help it. So,
well, it doesn't help that my recliners go all the way back. And Al, like when I watch movies, I sit up. If you go completely back, then yeah, you're gonna fall asleep pretty quickly. It's just part of it.
Yeah. So
that's what Al. You just gotta sit up. Don't get too comfy. You know.
Sorry, you should have a chart.
How many times have I like poked you in the face or threw a pillow at you or poured hot coffee over you? So many times.
Oh. That's good.
Many. We had to call the cops a couple times. That's it. So, but I mean, you should really have a chart, like an angle. Like here, you're fine. Here, sleep. Here, it's just annoying. So, I mean, you just got to have a chart. I appreciate it.
This is riveting, guys.
Appreciate it. Sorry, Brandon roofied me, and now we want to talk about it. But so, you know, we were. I did mention, and I'm just going to kind of.
Well, one thing I want to say before you move on from that topic with the last year, the reason why this is kind of important, and for any like new Blu-ray 4K release or whatever, whenever they do a new like remaster of a new print or whatever, that's when it's notable for me. Yeah. That's what makes me double dip. And so they are doing this with Last Action Hero, and the 4K or the standard Blu-ray that they put out it's okay. It's not great. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this one looks. And I think they're also doing an Atmos track for it and the original stereo track and that kind of thing. So
nice.
I tell you what, everybody leave over in the comments if you want us to do this, but I think we should do a full review of Last Action Hero and bring on some of the folks we've
Arnold
had on.
Schwarzenegger himself.
It's my uncle.
and his miniature ponies.
Yeah.
Whiskey.
I think so.
Oh, whiskey. Oh, you're such a good girl.
Yeah.
Everybody stay inside, wear your mask. Just stay in here, play with your ponies. That was the best video of last year. I love it so much.
Pony awesome. King. So
just like pan out. He's just like running around his backyard.
Yeah, he's riding his bicycle.
Yeah.
The miniature ponies are chasing him. So good.
If we can get enough people, we could even like theaters are so cheap to rent. I could rent us a theater and have enough people go watch Last Action Hero in the theater. That would be awesome. That'd be a great experience.
Yeah. Fun. As long as they have the new print. If they don't, we'll just watch it
because that's important.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's a great thing to do.
Ryan. No, go ahead.
Yes.
I was going to do something else.
No, ask Ryan. Ask Ryan.
Well, I was going to ask Ryan. You mentioned earlier that you started Party Down.
Oh, you did.
I started Party Down and I finished Party Down.
You partied down.
Oh,
I watched the whole thing and it's amazing. I love it.
Did you watch it by yourself?
So good.
No, Katie watched it with me.
Yeah, did she like it as well?
Yeah, she loved it. It is like a Arrested Development / Office to me. It was awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those shows that
I had never heard of this show before until you mentioned it the other day. Like
we learned.
Well, that's why it got canceled.
Yeah,
it did. Like it's on Stars. Nobody knew about it. Yeah. I was watching it. This was when Stars had some kind of deal with Netflix. This is like early Netflix streaming. and their new releases would come out in addition to stars on Netflix. That's how I watched Party Down and Spartacus and those shows. But
the guy from Spartacus.
If there's anyone out there looking for a quality, just veg out to comedy show, this is it.
I mean,
and the reason why we kind of like pushed you onto this show is because they're doing a new season on Stars.
See, so we were talking about this earlier with the movies, how they bring the whole cast back and everything, and they're bringing everybody back for this. But the TV shows, for the most part, work, whereas the movies usually don't work. So
I love that actor who plays Guilfoyle in Silicon Valley. He's just hilarious to me. The
Martin
super
Starr?
dry guy.
Martin Starr?
Yeah, Martin Starr.
Glasses, I guess.
Yeah, Lizzie Kaplan. Lizzie Kaplan's one of my favorites. I like this.
I mean, they're all good in this show.
This cast is great. Adam Scott, I mean, of course. But it's amazing that they've got the whole creative team, the entire.
Well, I usually am not a huge Jane Lynch fan, and I thought she was great in the show.
Well, this was before she was the Jane Lynch of today.
She disappears in the second season. I think she took on a different.
It was such a great. I guess I won't spoil it. Well, I guess, can we spoil it? It's when did the show come out?
Yeah. I mean, it's not really a spoiler type show.
Yeah, it's true. But when she does come back in the second season and gets married, drives like 50 feet and her husband dies.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever watch the Christopher Guest movies? Waiting for Guffman, Best in Show.
I've seen. I think I might have seen Best. Mighty Wind.
Mighty Wind is hilarious. Those movies, if anybody hasn't seen those movies, I highly suggest it. But Jane Lynch is a prominent player in the majority of those, and that's where I knew her from. And then Party Down as well, and she was just, and now she's everywhere. She's like the Steve Harvey almost of tall blonde women. You know, she's
good in. I will say she's good in
Wreck-It Ralph.
No, I don't know. Marvelous Miss Maisel.
I thought you were about to say something Marvel.
Yeah. She's like Southern comedic or like comedy act. Yeah, she was good in that.
I've not seen that.
But yeah, I love what's his name? J.K. Simmons, his little small his episode with the Sweet 16 daughter party. Yeah, it's so great.
It's a good one.
There's a lot of like early like Kevin Hart. It's one of his first like things I ever.
It seemed like every episode, Katie was like, "Oh, that person."
Yeah, it's so good. Well, yeah, they're doing a new season. I think it's 6 episodes.
Kristen Bell too.
So, Ken Marino. Do you guys know him from anywhere else? He was on a show that I used to watch. Way back when MTV had good stuff. He was on a show called The State, which is a sketch comedy show, and that's the same people that did Wet Hot American Summer. And
gotcha.
That movie's hilarious, and that show that they did on Netflix was pretty darn funny too. So, highly suggest that. Yeah. And Kim Marino's been around the block in Hollywood quite a bit. So,
nice.
Yeah, Children's Hospital he was in. That's also a really short.
That was a dark show. That was fun. That was fun, but it was dark.
So, well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Ryan.
Yeah.
It was kind of an on a whim recommendation too. I was just like, oh, comedy show. I'll check it out.
It's super breezy too. Like you plow. I mean, it's not a big commitment. It's not like Sopranos, big commitment.
Hey,
time.
Where are you right now? By the way,
coming along on that.
Let's see.
For people who aren't aware, Brandon's watching The Sopranos for the first time. He's working his way through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am in season 2. What?
I said in preparation for the prequel.
Sorry, my audio just like I got you in one ear.
Gotcha.
Now I don't have you at all. Let's see. There we go.
Brandon.
I guess I got a short in the cable. No, let's see. We're in season 2. What just happened? I don't know.
We
They're
need to
doing the
do.
mafia
We
stuff.
have to do like a special 15-minute CiNEMAChine episode or on the Pine Barrens after you watch it.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yes. We'll have Steve Buscemi on to explain it.
Okay.
So good.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what's.
It's like season 6, right? Season 4.
I think it's season 3. I could
Is
be
it?
wrong.
Yeah, I get all those seasons mixed up. Seasons.
The
mixed
sister is in town.
up. Oh man,
Trying to sell the mom's house.
she is.
Yeah, Pine Barrens is the 11th episode of season 3.
I think he just started going back to the psychiatrist.
Gotcha.
The sister is the foil for sure.
My gosh,
She is
his
annoying.
sister drives me nuts.
Yeah,
Oh, I know which one. We just watched the episode where Christopher takes the acting classes.
Christopher. Yeah.
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 Come on, Christopher.
Which his girlfriend I knew from. She's a big key player in Sons of Anarchy, which is obviously heavily inspired from this show.
Drea De Matteo.
That's the one.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it still. It season 2 definitely feels a little better in execution than the first season. It's still one of those things where there's a lot of like players involved that just aren't as up to par with like Tony.
Yeah.
And what's his wife's name?
Carmela.
Carmela.
Carmine. It's a very manly woman.
Hello.
She's
there.
good. I think she's the best. I think she's
Wait a
the
second.
best.
Al, do you
performer.
have a friend who likes Star Wars? This is great. We should hang out with him.
Must be a nephew.
It's not a fan. Yeah, that's my nephew.
He's a classic gamer. But yeah. No, I think she's great.
Yeah.
I think she,
Dude,
there's
there's-
chops. I think she's better
I
than
just got through.
Gandolfini.
There's an episode. It's hard to talk about it, but there's one episode that she's
It's
in.
hard to talk about it. It just upsets.
Well, I don't want to spoil anything. There's one episode that she's in where it's like one of the best performances I've ever seen on anything anywhere, not just TV. Like,
Yeah, I
she
think
just
you were
owns
mentioning
it.
that to me the other day. Eddie Falco, is that her name?
It is.
Edie.
Edie.
It is.
She's in a new FX series. Speaking of, I had that in the notes actually. It's that American Crime Story. She's going to play Hillary Clinton, which is interesting.
I have not heard of this.
I'm just not going to say anything because I feel like it doesn't matter how you respond to this movie. It's just going to be like, "Wah!" It's like everybody's going to be so polarized over this.
Did y'all watch any of the other American Crime Story, like the O.J. Simpson one, or
I
did they
did
do
not,
a
no.
Versace one? I didn't see the Versace one, but
No.
the O.J. one was great.
Really?
That's what everybody
Yeah.
said. I remember when OJ stuff happened, and I just didn't feel like I needed to.
That they do, Christopher.
Christopher.
They have.
Christopher.
Hey, Christopher.
Yeah, this new one it's called Impeachment, and she's playing Hillary. Clive Owen's playing Bill, which would be interesting. I'm trying to imagine Clive Owen as Bill Clinton.
That's a weird one. Yeah.
But yeah, Sarah Paulson is Linda Tripp. Sarah Paulson was also in the OJ one.
Yeah,
she played the lawyer.
The lawyer.
On the state side, I guess.
Brandon, can I ask you another question about Sopranos?
Sure.
Do you find yourself trying to talk like them after you watch it for a while? Because
I find myself wanting pasta.
I do that. Yeah, I'm like carb up and go around talking like that all day long. Like I get on people's nerves. I caught myself the other day like, what are you doing over there? You know, like I was trying to talk
it wouldn't surprise me if a study was done, if like my like F-bomb quantity went up as I was watching the show.
Like you definitely feel a rise in your aggression. Like how's your mother, huh? And I don't know. I go around saying that to people like, how's your motto? But I just love that show so much. It's I don't want to say too much. He can't.
It's true. No, I don't. Not yet. It's not ingrained in me yet. I'm sure I will at some point.
Yeah.
But I keep watching it.
So Brandon's going to be on this episode for some time because stuff's happening in the next couple weeks. They're going to be doing 6 live shows a day.
You're darn right we are.
47 and a half hours of breakdown of just the opening credits of the movie.
They just
what was our first comment tonight from somebody? I don't know if you guys plan on talking about Zack Snyder's Justice League, but I'm curious what you guys think about the Tom and Jerry fiasco and leaks. People want to hear it, you know?
About that very briefly. So Al, I don't know if you heard, but
it is
on
funny,
HBO
actually.
Max, Tom and Jerry somehow got Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Some people were selecting Tom and Jerry and the movie started playing.
People that streamed Tom and Jerry actually got to watch Zack Snyder's Justice League.
I almost watched Tom and Jerry the other night. You know how mad I would have been? You know how mad I would have been? I literally
everywhere I go, I can't escape it.
I used to love Tom and Jerry when I was a kid, so I was like, you know what? I'll see what they did with Tom and Jerry. I just make myself mad tonight, and I just couldn't make myself watch it. So you know what? Thanks God for watching out for me. I really appreciate that. I really do.
I actually watched that when it came out that weekend with my daughter. It's fine. You know, I mean, it's made for kids. It's not something that I'm ever going to return to, but she enjoyed it. It's not like it's more for kids than it is. It kind of reminded me a lot of the way I felt about The Witches. Like I thought it was solid, but more for kids than me. Whereas like a lot of Pixar stuff, you know, they hit both. So it's parents enjoy them, kids can enjoy them.
Do you remember when the Alvin and the Chipmunks movie came out years ago? The live action. Mm-hmm. I remember reading a review about that. I don't know who reviewed it or whatever, but it was a review in it, and it just stuck out in my head. It said this movie's very childish, and it was like a bad review, and I was like, what's wrong with that? Like, I think it's perfectly fine for a movie to be childish if it is geared towards children and families. Like, it's just so silly.
Yeah,
like, what do you want, Tom and Jerry like murdering people and cursing all over the place? It's like ridiculous.
I mean, it's pretty violent. I mean, as cartoons go, you know, they do a lot of stuff to each other. But
that's Tom and Jerry.
Yeah. But no, it's definitely more for kids and adults. But I mean, it was good. It's one of those. I said this to Ryan the other day. I'm really enjoying. I know that we all love going to the movies, but I really love having a new movie on Friday night to go downstairs and put on. It's been. Sure. I mean, obviously, my stuff is a lot different. So, yeah, it does help, but it's been awesome to be able to do that, especially for like Luna when we had like Tom and Jerry, we had that. Flora and Ulysses movie on Disney Plus, which is actually really good. And then like, you know, like Raya and the Last Dragon came out last weekend, which that was a premium $30 price tag, which I'm not going to do that just yet. But the ones that are cheaper, even like Barb and Star, like I didn't really care for the movie too much, but it was fun. Valentine's Day, we had a little at-home date. Just watched it. Got some takeout. Barb and Star.
15 minutes in, I was like, "Stop it! Just stop."
Ryan's starting to sound like me.
But no, I mean, it's a cool thing. I do hope that theaters come back, but I'm torn. But I'm also, like I said, I'm in a different situation.
I'm glad you're dead.
Like for
the lazy person in me.
That A Quiet Place 2 is now being bumped up. It's coming out in April now.
May, I think. Right.
Okay. It was April last year.
This is why Brandon's the former news guy.
This is why we had to change the format of our show.
Yeah, elaborate. so I can pull up
There
this.
you go. There you go.
A tap dance for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was supposed to come out in September, but yeah, now it's coming out May 28th. It's so funny because this was like the last movie that press saw before the pandemic kind of set in, and so they've
And they
seen
haven't been
this
able to
movie.
talk about it.
Yeah, they haven't been able to talk about like the interviews that they did. They've held on all that stuff.
Embargo.
In a weird way, it kind of feels a lot like in a very different way, but weird way, it feels a lot like New Mutants, where it's just like it's just been there forever. Like,
Yeah, maybe.
I think the response to this might be a little more positive.
oh yeah, for sure. I'm just talking about like the movie's just floating
Sure,
out
sure.
there in the ether like forever.
Sure.
Well, the reason why I brought it up is because it will.
Thanks very much, Jose.
Jose, love it. Thanks, brother.
You're not being rude at all. We appreciate
No.
that. You
Yeah.
send us comments anytime you like to. We love them.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, stop it. Come on.
Yeah, just more.
But yeah, this will be like the first
Wait.
movie that's going to be, well, I guess besides Tenet, but as far as like something that's going to get me out of my house and make me go see a movie, this is going to be one of them because I loved the first one. And I didn't get to see the first one in theaters. I think you two did.
Yeah.
It was an awesome theatrical experience.
It was like
for
talking
sure.
about great experiences because it was an exercise for the whole audience. I think I've talked about this before, but
Yep.
everybody had to be quiet and everybody else was looking at one another like, so are you going to talk? You look like you're going to talk. You better not talk. It was that kind of thing. And so it was a great exercise. So
That movie is hard. Like I've watched it 3 or 4 times at home since I got it. And I'm always like, all right, because it's silence until like the spaceship noise happens at the beginning. For those that have seen it, you know what I'm talking about. But like, I'm like, all right, how? Because I don't want it to be like deafening because there's basically nothing but little like pitter patter type footsteps and stuff. And so there's been a few times where it's like, oh, got it too loud because it's like that noise is just like excruciating, and then you've got the obvious monster noise that follows.
Brandon, I hate to interrupt you, but so Hunter wants to know, you guys excited for the new Boba stuff?
Oh, you don't know his real name. Don't out him like that.
That's classic gamer, man.
Sorry, classic gamer. Anyway,
yes, stoked for it.
yeah, and if anybody hasn't seen the end of Mandalorian, the last season,
Spoilers.
please look away, plug your ears. That was probably the best scene, if not one of the top 5 scenes in all of Mandalorian so far. The stinger. The stinger where
Jabba's palace, yeah,
that was great. And I forget the actress's name, but his sniper sidekick, she's been in 1,000 things. I mean, she's been around forever, but I like her as an actress. She's a really good actress. So looking forward to it.
I am very excited. I've actually been trying to get me a Boba Fett helmet for the collection, and because of Mandalorian, they are so expensive now. Like before Mandalorian,
you could have gotten one cheaper than like one of the cheapest.
Yeah, I could have got it for like $90 or less. Now it's like $250. It's crazy.
Yep.
But they're putting out a new one. But the new one, it's the refinished one. I don't want it. I want the old beat up looking one.
I know.
You don't want the one
I'd be
that
right
he
there with you.
that he put model paint on that he just happened to have in the ship. Yeah. So I didn't mean to detour us, but that seemed like a relevant question since we did go through all the Mandalorian episodes.
I am excited for it, and I'm actually curious if that takes the place of Mandalorian season 3, just because of
controversy.
You hear lots of things that
Sure.
there's trouble in paradise on that front, and obviously there's other things with Gina Carano, other things that are in the news. It's like, are they doing
They
this?
just have so much going on there.
They kind of sound like it just kind of sounds like everybody got too big for their own britches over there. Maybe not John Favreau, but other folks.
Known for Last of Us, it's like, okay, well, that's going to be a demanding role for him for at least a while. And it seemed like they pushed the Boba series up in front, and left the door open to continue Mando.
Yeah,
Well, the guy that's playing Boba Fett feels more realistic as a rugged, like outlaw kind of, I don't know, seasoned veteran.
Well, I like how they let him kind of like use a lot of his what is it, Maori culture, the Samoan type culture that.
Don't get me started, Lion.
I mean, I'm just somebody will correct us, but yeah, like with like
What
his
culture
staff,
is it, Classic Gamer?
yeah, he'll know. His fighting style, his like hand to hand combat fighting style.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm surprised that I am eager to. I'm not like, but I'll definitely watch when it comes around. I would say I think my consensus on the last season of on this past season, I should say, of the Mandalorian was it was pretty good. I liked the first season a little bit more, but they had a couple really good. I don't remember the names of the episodes. I'm sorry, but the episode that old
we all know you love the Katie Sackhoff episode. Like we get it.
Yep.
Chill out
Dude,
with Katie Sackhoff.
She's
It is
fantastic. She's greatest actress ever. I don't know how anybody can even act anymore. She's acted all the acting, so she's great. So Brandon, you were in the middle of some stuff on Quiet Place. Sorry, I don't know.
I mean, I just was just saying that it's the first movie that's going to get me out of the theater or out of the house to see it in the theater.
Out of the
theater into the theater. Yeah.
Out of this theater.
A tough life.
Out of the frying pan and into the fire.
Oh no, he's a poet. So
I'm a wizard. Harry.
I'm
not a wizard.
I do want to talk about something that I watched the other day.
I'm just Harry.
And it was really weird to watch it. And I didn't watch the whole thing.
Brandon.
I didn't watch the whole thing. But it made me feel terrible after I watched it. So
you loved it.
No, so when I was a kid,
that's a good point.
When I was a kid, the original Real World came on MTV and nobody knew what reality TV was. Everybody was like, what is this? And I'll be honest, I watched it because there was a pretty girl on it named Julie. So I thought she was pretty. And I thought, I think Beth or Becky, I can't remember that anyway. Thought they were pretty, so I watched it. Didn't know anything. It was on MTV, and that's like I said.
If anybody out there knows Beth or Becky, Al is single and ready to mingle.
She's like 50.
Free gentleman up in the top left-hand corner.
So anyway, watched the show, and I didn't really understand all that was going on. I was too young to understand all the things that were going on in the show, but I remembered I didn't watch the whole season either back then. For the Paramount, is it Paramount Plus? Is that what everybody's doing now? Just Plus? Say this is our channel Plus.
So we need to change it to CiNEMACHiNE Plus.
Yeah, that's what we should do. That's what our reviews are. Yeah, yeah. We should just call it CiNEMACHiNE minus, and that should be Capecast. So anyway, because I'm not there is what I meant, not because it's bad. Anyway. I watched the 30th anniversary of The Real World.
I saw that they were doing it.
I watched the first episode. Yeah, in the same loft and everything, or same apartment or whatever. I watched about, I think it was 45 minutes long or something. They were so Paramount Plus is doing this thing where they're debuting all of their first episodes of stuff on YouTube. So it kind of gateway. So I thought, I'll see what's up with those people. Do these people, like the Julie girl was 19 when she was on there. She's like 49, almost 50 now. It's like, it's insane. So I'm sitting there watching this, and I know what you guys are going to say after I say this, but I stopped watching it about, I don't know, 20, maybe 25 minutes in, and I was like, this makes me feel terrible. I'm officially old because I'm watching a reunion of a show that was on when I was a kid. And I mean, these people are like 50. I'm nowhere near 50, but it just made me feel old and bad. about myself. So I was like,
Yeah.
but it was neat. But the weird thing was they filmed this in the middle of New York, in the middle of COVID, when everybody's on lockdown. So these 7 people from 7 different walks of life get together, but Eric Nies, Nies, however you say it, he was the guy that went on to be in all the MTV shows, and the girls really liked him and stuff. And he couldn't be there because he had COVID. So they had to talk to him through a screen, and they had to make it seem like he was there, like try to include him and stuff. It was just really awkward. It was just, but I mean, I don't know if you're into that kind of stuff, great. But it's what my main point in bringing that up is everything is so reality TV, this, that, and the other nowadays. And that's really where it all started. Not that I like reality TV. I actually dislike it greatly, but man, that show started 30 years ago, and I did not realize reality TV has been around for 30 years. That's insane. So like my nephews and niece, they don't even know a world without reality TV shows. And it's sad to me because the narratives and such, the narrative pieces are so much better. But yeah, it's out there, and they're doing reunions. So
It's out there.
I guess Paramount
You can
Plus
watch
was
it if you
hard up
want.
for something. So I wonder if that, I think they're only doing like 6 or 7 episodes. I'm finished after I watched, they're older. Okay, I'm done. So
Well, I think you officially get old when your shows make it to like TV land. So
yeah, Nick
I
at
don't
Night.
know if
Yeah.
it's there yet.
Ryan's
Definitely not.
I'm going to say this. The first day I ever felt old was the day that I heard, like, this is years ago too, back to back songs on classic radio that I grew up listening to. Like, it was like classic rock radio, and it was like Nirvana and
Ryan, do you think they're
Candlebox.
ever going to play Limp Bizkit on classic radio?
I do not. I think people want to pretend like that never happened.
I hope so. I hope it happens.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I was talking to David. Y'all know David.
Yes.
We were talking about,
What's up, David?
I don't know how we got on it, but we were like, we need to do a either like a live watch or a review or something, like a hate watch of the Fanatic.
Yeah.
There's John Travolta, Devin Sawa. Oh, we were talking about Final
I'm
Destination.
insulted. A hate watch? At that, I'm sure it's a work of art. All right.
I mean, probably
think-
is. He wrote
I want to
it,
see the behind the
directed it.
scenes. He's like, an action.
I think he was the caterer.
Action.
Action.
Cut.
My God!
Bring that mic in. So
Drop that boom mic.
I'm gonna give you a fat lip.
Yeah.
For those
The
that
social
don't
clips
know,
just make
Ryan-
themselves.
Ryan is a huge Limp Bizkit fan. So
I am. I'm unapologetic about it.
as you should be.
You should
People
see
like
the
what they
tattoo.
like.
Light Creed fan.
Got it. You got it.
What would happen if Creed and Limp Bizkit went on tour together? You
The
guys
world would end.
would be just like, I love you, man, sitting on
Fred
your
and
shoulder,
Scott do not like
slapping the
each other.
bass.
Yeah. That would not go well.
Yeah, well, I would watch the Fanatic. Is that what's called, the Fanatic?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've
Um,
watched 25 minutes of it and it is glorious. I want to be, I need, it's like one of those movies that like,
let's do a Patreon. Let's do a Patreon.
We could do
yeah,
something.
I mean, I need, it's definitely one of those like group experience type movies. I didn't want to watch it by myself. It's one of those
Brandon's Theater. Everybody has a microphone. Let's go live.
Dangerous.
Down.
Al's gonna start snoring halfway through.
it's a given.
Wake up!
Al, don't lean your seat back. Don't lean your seat
Right,
back.
turn Al's mic off.
No, I can hate watch with the best of them.
It would be a good one.
I do it with most movies. So that was some fun. Limp Bizkit talk.
It's always fun.
Yeah. Well, guys, do we have anything else that we really need to talk about? Or
I think
you want to
I'm
call
good.
it a night on our first live episode?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been fun.
So it's been fun. This is kind of what we're thinking about doing for the foreseeable future is do live shows. And then if there's a new movie coming out or something, some sort of like, top 10 or whatever
Movie
list
show,
type video that we want to do. We'll do that as a separate thing. But yeah, this is kind of what we felt like was the right
and
move for the channel.
Cool chatting it up with you guys too throughout.
And leave some comments and drop us some messages over on social or in the comments when this video is no longer live. Hang on one second. I'm going to I have a message here. I have a message.
This is one thing.
Yeah, I know. It's one thing. I wear hats backwards and I do that.
And news for me taking creds from Ryan.
But no, leave some ideas of things you want us to chat about, like top 5, top 10 list, maybe a director you want us to watch, like kind of review all the movies of their, or at least talk about that director in great length, or
it'll be a
15 series.
Hour CiNEMACHiNE.
Yeah, or we can make it
I
was like show end.
That's why y'all have Cape Cast, guys.
Viewer.
Yeah, exactly. But seriously, I was gonna transition into this. Well, Ryan, do you want to tell them where they can tell us what they want?
Sorry, I didn't mean to bomb your transition there.
It's all right. It's live.
Yeah. So obviously, watch on YouTube. Hit us down in the comments. Let us know what you think of the episode. If you got suggestions, things you want us to talk about, we're happy to do that. Also, follow us on Instagram at CiNEMACHiNE, and that's probably the best way to keep tabs on kind of everything we've got going on. And definitely hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all of our videos that we're putting out.
Yeah, and make sure that we have a great lineup of shows. We have this show. This is really the flagship show, and then we have Cape Cast, where they're supposed to talk about comic book movies, and then we have Criterion
to talk comic book movies.
yeah, and then Criterion Corner, where I talk about all the stuff that I like, and we're all trying to get guests and whatnot. So we're starting to get quite a bit of great featured guests, and we're very thankful for that. So do continue to tune in. So you want to make sure you do hit subscribe so you can know when that stuff when we go live with that, or when we do put it up as a recorded piece.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Well, folks, we're gonna call it an evening because obviously I'm tired. So I'm gonna go sleep in Brandon's theater. So don't worry.
For you.
Thank you. But yeah, we really do appreciate you tuning in, watching us live. We hope you had as much fun as we did. This brings a little different kind of angle as to what we do every week. So we really appreciate it. And we'll continue to fine tune this bad boy until we have it into the most pristine show. So do keep tuning in. But until then, keep watching a lot of movies, and we'll see you on the next CiNEMACHiNE.
Bye.